rolling. Roll. It's all fine. I roll this thing all the way up here and all of a sudden it decides, even disengaged, it doesn't want to roll. Greetings, folks. Welcome back to the Tractorfella Show, where we know nothing about tractors. On today's episode, we're going to take this machine and we're going to give it a good solid once-over and see if it'll run. It's been sitting for an unforeseen number of years. Let's get to it. This is a big machine. Cub Cadet LTX 1050 V-twin hydrostatic. Look at that butt. She was a tow pig. We'll see how that works out for the transmission. Hydrostatic, forward and reverse. Parking brake, normal, reverse button. Man, they make you go through a bunch of hoops to go backward with the PTO on. PTO on and off. Engine hour meter. I'll be curious to see how many hours we have. Let's see what we have under the hood. Holy cow. Look at that power plant. 24 horses? Holy moly. SV725. I know nothing about that. Will be fun to explore. Mechanical fuel pump. Oil filter. Looks brand new, along with the fuel filter. What do we have here? Kohler emission control information, blah, 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 2012. So we can assume that this is a 2012 model year, or close to that. You remember the John Deere we did? Or will it run on? This came from the same fine folks. This belonged to a nice elderly couple. Unfortunately, the husband, he passed away. When he went and bought his replacement, this sat in the backyard for years. She decided after some time that she wanted to get rid of it, and here we have it. So I'm very thankful to all people involved that allowed me to get this here. Anyone remember the year that came from? This engine meets US EPA 2004 and California 2006 emission regs. I'll pop it up somewhere in here. Anyway, why don't we run through some quick checks and see what we have here. Oil. Check. Doesn't smell too badly of gasoline. That is encouraging. You know, I even brought my gloves out here today. Excitement gets me every time. Check it out. This is like the first riding mower I've ever seen that has a fuel level meter that's actually in a convenient location. Check. Gas tank. Well, it's there. Oh boy, there is a lot of liquid in there. Okay, here goes. It smells like gasoline. Well, that is exciting. Engine lockup check. Oh, good. Check. Headlights. Check. Tire that loses air in about 15 minutes. Check. Tire that loses air in about 15 hours. Check. Let's check the underbody. Oh. All right. I see a clutch. Well, that's definitely not supposed to be there. I don't think that's supposed to be locked up, is it? Then again, I feel like something should be free. Oh, it is freewheeling. Observe. Stop focusing on the spider web. Get back there. Focus. Thank you. Bottom. Rotates. Top. Does not. Steering. Check. Belt. It's definitely checked. However, we'll probably get a few more miles out of that. Seems to be holding on pretty tight. Rear drive. Check. That looks decent for the most part. That looks like a cutoff wheel has been here. I'm not entirely sure why. Axle beam. Good. Check. Is this a John Deere oil filter? I don't know, but it is... Oh, that might be a Cub oil filter, hence the yellow color. Open wire. Check. Fuel hose holder. Oh boy, is that disintegrated or what? Oh man, are we gonna have to do fuel lines? We haven't had to do fuel lines in a while. Wait, is that even a fuel line? What is it? Oh, that's part of the fuel pump assembly. Well, at least it's just the return, and the supply looks relatively okay. Not 100% crispy. Is that a little breather screen right there? Looks like it. Partially clogged. There's our creepy little puff nest right there. Go away. We have a throttle relocation kit. I mean, you know what? If it works, it works. Starter motor. Yup. We have 2 spark plugs and 2 spark plug wires. We have some oil leakage here, or some seepage, a word I completely find to be disgusting. Most likely the seal for this valve cover. It's not a huge deal. I think this machine would clean up really nice with the power washing, which we will do. Don't you worry. We have a totally large pile of machines to power wash this spring. Speaking of spring, what a gorgeous day. It's supposed to hit over 75 today. Mower deck came with it on this machine. Bearing check. Oh, smooth as glass. Decent. However, that could be the belt. It could be the belt rubbing on it. Yep, let's take the belt off. Okay. This is a siding tester. 1250. I just invented it. Bearing check. Oh, like glass. Like glass? Whatever. Moving on. Bearing check. That one's a bit on the crispy side. I bet we could just trickle a little bit of oil down there and those babies would come right back to life. Titan's cube. Check. Yes, I see you. I promise. Okay, fetch. Come on, get it. Watch when I touch it. Oh yeah, now it's mine. Okay, idlers. Idler 1. Decent. Idler 2. Decent and dented. That one has a little bit of end play. This one is nice and tight. These all feel really good. Oh look, we even have a plug-in for a deck washer. That's cool. Despite all the surface rust, feeling good. Wheels, floppy, slightly floppy, little floppy. I mean, this deck, as far as I'm concerned, is a winner, and it's a 50-inch deck. The Jolly Green Giants deck is 42, so we might paint cans. Is there anyone out there that actually enjoys painting? This is what I think about painting. Yeah! We might just have a new mowing machine here. On top of the paint cans, I got to do an oil change today, and a little commuter vehicle over there decided to go with full synthetic this time instead of the blend. There are rumors that circulate about synthetic oil causing leakage in older mileage vehicles. I feel like that's gone away. It probably stemmed from someone named Roberta who married a guy named John. He had a second cousin twice removed on his mother's father's side. His name was Bob. Bob was married to a carpenter named Lisa. Lisa worked for a big box shop. Lisa's manager, Bruce, knew a guy down the road named Ricky. Ricky worked for a dealership. One day, Ricky was working on a car. Car's customer said, "Hold on, don't be putting synthetic oil in my car." My great-grandfather on my mother's side knew a young man in southern Kentucky. That young man was working on a 1927 Ford. He put oil in it after it hadn't run for 89 years. And it was synthetic oil. The synthetic oil caused an oil leak in that 1929 Ford. Therefore, all vehicles that are older mileage will leak if you put synthetic in them. And that's how the rumor started. Time for a spark plug check. With the correct socket. Alright, how about that spark plug check? Oh, come on, dude. Check. Well, that's clean. Second plug. Looks the same as the first plug. Interesting little carbon mark on the side here. I'm not too sure what that's from. Unless that's... Is that an oil mark? No, that's kind of like a burn mark. Wonder if it's how the plug was indexed in the cylinder. Maybe a lot of hot gases. Yeah, you know what? No clue. Put your comments below. Just right down there. Alright, let's do a little lubrication in this reciprocation. Oh, alright. Turn up the pump. Insert. Aim high. Oh, that's way down there. We're at close to bottom dead center. Is it traffic day today or what? And go. Cylinder 2. Although this could potentially be cylinder 1, I guess. Find our piston wherever you may be. Close enough. And go. The reciprocation has lubrication. I put the battery on the dinosaur charger, and it was reading a couple amps, so it's taking something. I tried to pull the battery out and see if there's a year on it, but I feel like this vehicle has been sitting with the seat in the upright position, and because, well, this red wire is now sun bleached to pink. Very, very lovely shade. Alright, so we have a key. Very exciting. Well, let's just... Whoa! Red light. Look at this. Look, we have headlights. What? And I hear relays. I'm freaking out right now. Okay, reverse operation, normal operation, crankage. PTO and parking brake light up. Oh, what do we have for hours? That's not right. Does that say 10.8 hours? 10.8? There's no way. Okay, whatever. We'll let that fester for a little bit. PTO and parking brake. So I'm guessing that means the PTO is turned on. Pull for on, push for off. Okay. Battery light went out. PTO blade light went out. The hour meter, the hours have changed. Now we're at 182. So does that mean you can check each individual component? If I pull the PTO, it tells me PTO hours? No kidding. Okay, so we've had 10.6 hours of PTO usage. And 182 engine hours. To me, that seems like a fetus. This thing was just born. All right, last light was parking brake light. Pushed on the brake here, and... oh! And we're off. I may have just dusted my rocking chair with PB Blaster. I'm kind of upset about that. Okay, rocking chair delete, complete. Brake. Oh man, this thing's rotating like a champ. Oh man, this is exciting. Using a different wand today. Different thread pitch. So what do you think? Low throttle, full throttle, with choke, without choke? I don't know. We'll go somewhere in the middle. Let's see, can I do this brake pedal? Oh, it works. Sweet. And we're off. Holy smokes. 190-ish. 190 PSI? Dang! That is a good cylinder. And yes, you are correct. This is wet compression. There is some oil in the cylinder. And we're off. Ooh, man, we got another hot one there. What's this one, about 200? 200 PSI? That is sweet. So now what do? We go with the throat spray and see if it fires? Oh, spark check. Let's do a spark check. But first, so the year is, I don't know, 2011? 2012, and I working for where I work currently, and I meet a good friend. We're still good buddies to this day. We'll call him Foul-Mouth Johnny. So Foul-Mouth Johnny, we call him that because he came to my wedding, and and he's sitting at the table, and he's speaking in his special tongues, and my dad walks by and he looks at Foul-Mouth Johnny, and Johnny looks at him and he goes, "Sorry, Mr. So-and-so, I guess I was raised a little different." My dad chuckles and he says, "That's all right." Keeps on moving. Anyway, I'm hanging out with Johnny. We're over at his place, and he's got this 1983 GMC Jimmy in the backyard, and it's a 6.2 diesel. Good old oil burner, one of those sweet machines that didn't exactly help the diesel name from the GM family. So I'm like, you realize we have to work on this, right? Because it's been sitting there, you know, for years. He left the hood off of it, all kinds of stuff. Johnny, if you're watching, love you, buddy. And so we go out there, but it's locked up. We pull out all the glow plugs, and I said, all right, I've got an idea. And so he climbs under there, puts the breaker bar in the balancer. It's a ratcheting breaker bar. Starts yanking on it, right? So I get in the truck, and I'm turning the key. Tunk, tunk, tunk. And he's like, it's moving. Keep going, keep going. Might as well be brand new. Chunk. And he's like, stop, stop, stop. And I'll be if we didn't break that thing loose. We spent the next few weekends doing our best to get that running. It may have involved melting a couple sets of battery wires. He bought a whole new set of glow plugs for it. Was not very happy. We weren't able to prime the system, so we resorted to, you know, what everyone else does when they don't use their brain. Ether. Cranking on it, and I'm giving it little teeny spurts because you don't want to ether lock it. And finally that thing popped off, and he was just like Peg from Zip Ties and Bias Plies. Bop! Yelling from the driver's seat. Bop! It's like 11 at night. Neighbors are all wondering what's exploding in the backyard. Some years later, he calls me up after we gotten it running. He goes, hey man, you want a pickup truck? Really? What do you want for it? He goes, a couple of 30 packs. And the rest was history. The high pressure pump ended up going out. I didn't have the time to mess with it at the time, so I told him I was going to sell it. He said, you know what, I'll take it back. We got it back to his place. He replaced the high pressure pump, and Graybeard lives to this day. Autolite 3924. Might as well be brand new. As per usual, most important tool in the garage. Think that'll stay there? Yeah, I don't either. Gonna turn out the lights. Don't get scared now. And we're off. Oh yeah! Bank 1 or 2 is a success. Let's check cylinder 2, and we're off. How much spark do we have? All of it. Gentle. Let's find the air cleaner. Well, I think I found it. I took the hood off, which I didn't really need to do. Should probably save some battery here. Thank you. Speaking of which, the battery seems to be quite healthy. Oh, look at that. Like a full-on automotive air filter here. Look at that. Nice and clean on the inside, though the outside has definitely seen better days. This might be a candidate for an Amazon special. See lots of videos out there where they fire up an engine with no air cleaner and it just sucks in all the surrounding dust. I've been guilty of it myself, but let's just see if we can prevent some of that from happening. Creepy squishy nest. Creepy squishy nest number 2. And number 3. Oh, right in the face. Oh. Something was alive and it smashed on my face. Gross. Yeah, well, if someone came in and blew my home away, I'd probably want to splat myself on their face too. Hey, you never know. We may give this some throat spray and it'll just run. I really hope that doesn't happen because this will be a very short video. And we're off. A little smoky. Nice sounding engine though. Trying to figure out if the throttle up or throttle down is the way we need to be. Holy fogger. There goes our PP blaster. Oh man, time to crack a window. So I don't know if that was running off of residual ether, but apparently throttle down is full throttle. Let's try again. I don't think we have an idle circuit. Right on. Oh, this thing stinks. It smells like hot oil and mouse dominium on fire. I'm a little disappointed. It's running off the gas in the tank. What do you think, Type? How about your cube? Go get your cube. Get your ball. Go get your ball. Ball. goofball. Get out of here. I don't want to get oil all over you. Keep going. Anyway, I guess one thing we can do is still tear off the carb because I don't like the way it's idling. It's unacceptable. There's the cube. Let me see it. Drop the cube. Drop it. I want to show the audience. Drop. Good boy. My wife picked this up. Made in the USA. It's called like, oh, there you go. Rough Dog. RUFFDAWG. It literally has a lifetime warranty, if you can believe it or not. And with this little psycho here, look at that intensity. Good boy. So I just got done changing oil on the little HHR here. You guys ever hear of clear flood mode? It's where you put your foot to the ground on the gas pedal and crank it, and it stops the injectors from working. I used to work at an oil change place. The guy would come in, and he'd be like, well, I don't like to start my engine when it's dry. So he'd crank it and then turn the key back off, and then crank it and then turn the key back off. And I told him, I said, well, you know, you can just put your foot all the way to the floor and it'll crank for a while and you won't have to worry about doing that. And he looked at me like I was a complete idiot. He's like, no, I'm okay. Well, if you're watching, sir, observe. And foot up. There you go. Oil change complete. P.S. I hold no liability if you do this and your engine ramps to the moon. Also, does not work on diesels. Ask me how I know. Would someone please explain to me why we have had a 50-degree drop in temperature? Man, had a weekend of 80s. It was fantastic. And what is it today? 35. Actually, you know what? I have a confession to make. It's my fault. If you'll notice, my propane tanks. I said to myself, I don't need Mr. Heater anymore. I'm going to disconnect it from the propane tanks. Mother Nature was very disappointed in my decision. So, here we are. Blame me. Step 1. Remove the hood. Step 2. Remove the hood. Oh, good. They put bolts in between the gas tank on the back of the engine. This engine's new enough, it's probably metric. Oh look, my socket that I need. Yeah, that's the socket I need. It's gone. Then we'll organize everything in its proper location. Now, we have the ones on the back. I do have this guy, pretty low profile. Let's see what we can do. I need your help. Oh, yes, very convenient. Well, let me give it a shot without taking the dipstick off. That wasn't as bad as I thought. Everything is nicely organized as to where it came from. I will kick that in a few minutes and lose all of my organization. If the gas tank is in the way, I'm going to be very upset. I am very upset.
Let's take off the carburetor. Yeah. It'll be a good adventure.
Well, now that I had my temper tantrum, I'm pretty sure the only thing holding the gas tank from being lifted up is 1 bolt, 2 bolts, and then this bracket should just pull right out. So I feel better about myself, both because I had a tantrum and also because we just found that. Pardon my head. It's large. Now we need to turn up the pump. So now, can we just pluck that out of there? Oh, it's attached. My bad. This bar and this bar are attached to each other. Now I gotta find the bottom bolts. Not so bad. I'm gonna get a swivel. Okay, got my swivel. My extension. I'm sure a swivel with an impact is an excellent idea. Nope, that did not go well. Well, it's definitely not a 10. 3/8 for the win. My baby was on there. Alright, that was fun. Let's see what we can do here. Went a little better on this side. Oh, and I dropped it. And I'm never getting that back in there. This isn't frustrating at all. Yeah. well, so never getting that back on either. All right, there we have it. I've got a couple screws that fell somewhere around here. Am I making you dizzy? I see you down there. Never underestimate the power of the claw. Okay, underestimate the power of the claw. Oh, success. I am 99% sure that you cannot see this. However, I have the smallest glimpse, had the smallest glimpse of where it is. There it is. Come to daddy. All right. Reinstalling those should be fun. Another reason I wanted to do a checkout without the cover on is because I'm looking for signs of burnt stuff. I don't know what it is. But it's not supposed to be there. That's probably what smelled like Satan's ass. Otherwise, everything looks pretty clear. Oh, hey, check it out. Driver's side, bank 2. Passenger side, bank 1. Now we know. Just dive in there a bit, see what we can fish out. I think we just mostly have yard debris. Get some compressed air. Plug your ears. Just kidding, I'll adjust the volume. I see some of you didn't bring your safety glasses, so let's get you back where it's safe. Time to turn it up a little bit.
It's best to do this inside the garage.
That'll do. Never played with it. Oh, I got dirt on my pants. Never played with a V-twin carburetor before. I've done the flat 2 Briggs from time to time, but... Yeah, okay. Wait a minute. What is that? Is that anti-carburetor rip-off bolts? Oh, give me a break. Nope, turns out you just gotta blow it off. That, and I need a deep well socket. Oh, 10 mil... Oh, well, surprise, 10 millimeter. There we go. Let's get our breather lines off of here. That one's been on there for some time, I can tell you that. This one may or may not come off. Oh, it's coming off. There we go. Just a little guy. And... ta-da! Oh, wow, that's dirty. No, that's just from me pouring stuff on it while taking that off. Okay, 'tis another day. Welcome back. When we left off, we plucked the intake off of here. Let's go ahead and unplug our fuel shutoff solenoid without breaking it. Should just disconnect right here. It does. There we go. This one actually has a ground wire as well, which is interesting. However, what I just unplugged probably doesn't need to be unplugged. One moment. So what we can do is we can undo what I just did. We're going to put that right back in there. We're going to take our surgical scissors and we're going to unzip this tie. So now, this guy can just assumingly come off of here. And there she goes. Okay. No, Titan, Hercules, I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to the 3 people that are watching right now. This may... Oh, guess we got a little pressure in there, huh? Well, it's a fuel pump based system, so I wouldn't think gravity would feed it with the pump off. That's about cut. Have to figure out what that's rubbing on. Well, I guess we'll get the hose deformers. Hose deformers. Engaged. Hopefully it doesn't spray us in the face. Nope. We'll leave that there to shatter at a later date. Surgical scissors have multi-purpose. There we go. Mostly goodish. Okay, what have we here? Yeah, well, what do you know? It's leaking gas on me already. Hey, I put my gloves on. Amazing. A little tickle and a twist. Not at all. I'd like to just pluck this off of here. Alright, we got lucky-ish. Alright. Oh, yeah. Don't worry, it won't be the last time I spill. There we go. Hairspring will stay there. Maybe we can pop out the bottom piece. Oh, there we go. That took a lot more than I thought. I'm sure I did it all wrong. Somebody can tell me what I did wrong. I'm pretty sure I've already successfully spilled all of the gas that's hiding in this carburetor. But just oh no, look at that. We still have more. It's like that gasket wanted to stay on there a little more than I'd hoped, but we'll see what happens. Okay, now it just decided to come out. Fantastic. Jeez. Why the dual spring action here? There was spring here, doing this, yet it can all be controlled through that. I don't know. I do not know. And what is this? Only a partially fully open butterfly valve? Is that supposed to be like that? Weird. No, that doesn't make sense at all. No idea what that's doing, or why it's only opening. Why it only opens partially. Okay, whatever. I just work here. I'm going to start with a little exterior cleaning first. I'll be right back. Good from afar, but hardly good. Wait, I didn't say that right. I didn't say that right at all. Good from afar, but far from good. There we go. Man, it must be my first day again. The bowl is always a good place to start. Let me guess, I need a super thin wrench to get in there. Not a user-friendly machine to service. Nope, that's just gonna wreck it. Let's see if this little guy holds any treasures. Oh, is it big enough? No. Anyone need to crimp some coaxial cable? I sure don't. Oh, ha-ha! Gotcha! There's our shutoff needle. Still feels, well, I don't know. It feels. What are we stuck on? Nothing. Piece of dirt. A little bit of dried up gel in there, it looks like. Let's check on our float. Watch the spring. Is there a spring? Not in this one. Remember that last carb had a spring in it. I don't hear anything inside. That's good. Just clean the tip. The seat looks seat-tacular. All right, let's take out our primary. Think it'll click? No, no click. Just a not willing twist. Very disappointed. Okay, let's see what's inside. Oh, there's our jet. Well, as long as the middle is clear. Oh yeah, we're clear. Tube in the middle. Not gonna pull it out. Because chances are I will wreck something. Will this come off? Willingly. We'll get some carb cleaner. Do a little spurt. Gentle. Okay, that was not gentle. Like how these things are all like on or off. More containers. Can never have too many containers. Right? Right. I don't really want to take this gasket off, but I feel like I need to access a couple of ports here that I can't really get a straight shot to. So let's see how willing/unwilling this is to move. That went surprisingly well. Yeah. And let's do the pokey. Let's try this one. Is there even a hole in there? I don't think so. That center is definitely clear. I'm limited on my pokeability. Fuel inlet is A+. We know the fuel inlet's fine because it wouldn't run without a good fuel inlet. Now it moved. Something's coming out. Don't know what. Probably gonna break it. You know me, I can't not play with something. You guys bored yet? I feel like I should film these in high speed.
With the voice still going, so that way I sound like a squirrel. Since I have so many squirrel moments. We're in the thick of it now.
I'll forget that orientation almost immediately. Okay, choke lever delete complete. They made a handle for this dang thing, but I can never keep it threaded. It always comes loose. Always. Yeah, move some more. Now I have a ridge that I can ride against, at least gently on the way down. Ah, it moved some more. How exciting is that? Ah, there it is. Listen to my voice. It's excited. There you go. Emulsion tube. Excellent. I'm kind of glad we took it out, because it's a bit on the dirty side. Anybody out there have a sleep number bed and absolutely despise it? Every time I wake up, I think I need a backiotomy. Well, it seems pretty darn clean. Is that a little lock washer in there? Or is that supposed to be a seal? Let's poke it. I don't know. Now that pin up through the middle, is that just a guide, or does that actually have a function? I don't have an answer for that either. Let's grab it with a pair of pliers, bend it, and see if it comes out. And you thought I was kidding. No, it does not come out. At least not willing enough for me to pry on it and ruin it. Let's find our Ultra Spray, see if the straw will fit over it, and find out if it's pass-through. Comes out somewhere. Oh, okay. Comes out of this guy right here, which appears to be clear. Where's this go? Oh! You alright? Almost got it in your eye. Oh, yeah. Apparently they come up through here. Throw it back together. You see those holes? Any idea what those are for? There's 4 of them in random spots. Tighten the skills as soon as I touch it. Oh, no. Okay, good job. Well, maybe it is idle circuit. Dang. All right. Taking that plate off. Oh, yeah, we got a pop on that one. Think it'll pop again? Yes. All right, 2 nice and clean screws. 1 plate. Shaft came out. Let's see if we can get our cleaner in there. Yeah, I don't want to wreck these. Our brush, that one's already creased right there. That might just work nicely. Don't recommend using a brush to clean your grill after you start ripping bristles out of it, because then the bristles start falling out very willingly. And you don't want to really eat. That goes nowhere. That goes somewhere. That also goes somewhere. That goes somewhere. I haven't taken that out, but I wouldn't think... That doesn't even look factory. Well, it's the correct thread pitch, I can tell you that. It is. There's nothing in there. It's just a threaded spot. Alright, well, I'm going to blast all these holes with air. Also, when you're blowing things out, be careful, because if there's rubber O-ring in there for the seat, you could blast the O-ring out and never see it again. Let's put it back together, see what happens. I should probably have noted the index of these emulsion tube holes. You would think that you'd want them on the sides for equal distribution of the fuel up alongside of this little brass tube here. I would think if it's this way, the fuel would come up, splash into that brass tube, and you wouldn't get a very good atomization. So let's go with this way. That's it. There she be. What doth we want to do next? Let's put this screw in there that doesn't seem to serve any purpose. I'm going to pull up this carburetor, have a look at it, and see what exactly they call this screw, because it's bothering me. Get this little guy back on here. And we'll do the blow test. I will lift. We'll see if air comes through here. I will seat. And we will see if it stops. Yep. Turn it upside down. Beautiful. Gross. Get our fuel shut-off solenoid on here. Wonder if there's a way we can test... Yes, there's a way we can test it. Let's do that. Let's plug the little guy in. The fuel solenoid is normally closed, which means right now it's in the shut-off position. When I turn the key on, it should retract. Want to give it a shot? Oh! We have a functioning fuel shut-off solenoid. What a great day. Didn't take a whole lot of torque for me to undo this, so I'm not going to go wild on it when I tighten it back up. Should be good. Put a little lubricant on here. I don't usually use this old guy because, well, it leaks profusely. So I don't even know if there's any oil left in it. But it's... Oh, yeah! Little 15W for your carburetor here. This is the type, yeah, if I plunge it slow, it doesn't ever come out. If I plunge it fast, however, then we get a little spurt of oil there. Okay, so there's our spring action, still working. Okay, choke, and there she be. Next, little 15W for the throttle blade shaft. Yeah, I don't understand. Why is this here? I wonder if this is the restrictor plate. They don't want a full 24 horses out of it, so they test it at 24 horses. But then they don't let you get to the full 24 horses. That's it. Birds are out today. Went from a balmy 35 yesterday to 60 today and sunny. The birds are happy and so are the humans. It's amazing. I don't know how many of you, 6 or 7 viewers out there actually live in a climate where you have seasons, but in the winter, I'd say 80% of the people get grumpy because there's no sunshine, at least in the state I live in. And then the sun comes out and weather starts to warm up and everybody suddenly starts waving and smiling and you get a bunch of happy people. It's true. Those of you who know, you know. That's a restrictor plate right there. Why the southern accent? Could be a northerner. That must be the restrictor plate right there. Perhaps we should remove it. So for once, I have an engine that's new enough that the website actually still has the engine on it. 24 horsepower. Wow, 41.5 pound-feet. Nice job. Give me the service manual. All right, service manual. I'll bring you back when I actually find carburetor information. That is a Nicky 1-barrel. Cahin 1-barrel. Oh, come on, don't. Thank you, Walbro. Perfect. Look at it. Just look at it. There it is. No restrictor. Oh, of course, the idle jet's under that plug. That's the one thing we didn't see. Did we see that plug there? Where was that? The jet sits inside the needle? Interesting. So I just learned something violently new today, which makes zero sense to me. They're saying letter E is the idle jet. Stop that. They're saying letter E is the idle jet. That goes inside where the needle goes for the float. Weird. Very weird. It's this way here too, with this 1-barrel carburetor. Interesting. Let's do a troubleshooting, shall we? Are you guys bored yet? You have to be bored. Engine starts hard, runs rough, or stalls at idle speed. Low idle fuel mixture. Some models speed improperly adjusted. Adjust low idle speed tab. Then adjust low idle fuel needle. This Kohler Courage was in the days of adjustable stuff. Ours, not so much. So if we look at that diagram we just checked out, they're showing this as being the idle adjustment. Mixture, the idle mixture adjustment. However, as you can see, ours is not adjustable. And I'm afraid if I take that plug out, I'll never get anything back in. However, the curiosity is killing me. I'm wondering if that's simply a stopper to prevent you from adjusting it, or if it's completely fixed and removing that would cause a huge vacuum leak. I'm not going to play with it. Let's put it back together. If it still idles like crap, then we'll destroy this. In the meantime, restrictor plate, you're coming off. Yeah, check it out. Take that off. You actually get full throttle. I wonder if that was their solution to an emissions issue. Sorry, I can't stop talking about it. It's driving me nuts. Why was it there? Tell me. Someone tell me why, seriously. Let's release the dragon. What do we want to do first? Well, first I'm going to put you actually where you can see something. Second, let me get my gloves back on because I'm going to spill gas all over myself. You went in here like so. Okay, there we go. A little hairspring. Okay, so we have that back in there. There we go. Okay, that's set. So we got the choke linkage on there. I'm just going to put this right back in its home. You can see this guy here goes in, slides up, and clips onto the bar. I am 100% doing that on the wrong on the wrong linkage. All right, let's get you all the way through there, just like that. Get this fella back to its house. Sort of getting there. There we go. Okay, and we're in. Now we slide this up. Pop. into place where it's supposed to be. Now we'll get our hairspring for our governor. And there we go. A little bit of struggle, but we persevered and we conquered. Let's go with the fuel shut off. All right, get our fuel line. Okay. Take our fuel tube deformers off. Open that back up. Well, I did the right thing and decided to cram some washers on here. And that way we can run the system with all the garbage off of it for now. And also you'll notice the fuel system is securely bungeed in place, so we don't have any flywheel interference. PCV will turn into a road draft tube and vent to the atmosphere. Oh, you know what this is? That is a vent for the fuel tank. Okay, well, now we know what that does. That's our crankcase breather. Might take a little cranking since we drained the bowl and the fuel line. Everything out of the way. Fuel line's connected. Carburetor is on there. We're not even getting full choke out of this special lever. Choke. And go.